It's a new day, it's a new month. You know what that means. Oh yeah, get your popcorn, get your snack, get your beverages, put Charlie in a timeout because yeah, it's time for the Fast Five skincare products that yours truly tested out, put through the ringer throughout the month of February, and I'm ready. I've got the notebook, pen, and pad connected. First of all, let's talk about a sunscreen. Surprise, surprise. On this channel. Yeah, and I'm being sarcastic because sunscreen, most important skincare product, okay? But finding a sunscreen that doesn't suck can be a challenge, right? They can be too thick, goopy, casty, burn, sting. I'm a big fan of lightweight gels, so I decided to give Naked Sundays, is that the name? Yeah, Naked Sundays, a test drive. Now, I've tried one of their other sunscreens in the past and found it to be too thick, too chalky. It was a zinc oxide number that was not my favorite. But when I saw they had a clear, colorless sunscreen gel, I said, oh wait, step on up to the bar because I got a shaker in hand, I got some mint, and we're gonna get on into this Cabana Clear. Yeah, Cabana Clear SPF 50. Really had hoped that this would be water resistant, but it's not. The reason I wanted it and still want it to be water resistant is because this type of formula is made for summer heat, summer sweat, activities outdoors, working out outside. You don't want some thick, pasty, chalky, creamy, zinc oxide, oppressive layer on your skin that's going to be unbearable, limit evaporation of sweat, and keep you from, well, reapplying every 2 hours while you're out there, as you should be doing. A sunscreen gel is a go-to in these kind of situations, but you'd want it to be water resistant. Anyway, a sunscreen gel is also a great option for people who, well, like gels. They like the lightweight feel, but especially it's one to lean into if you've got facial hair, beard, mustache, prominent eyebrows, and you're not so jazzed about sunscreens that leave this weird residue. And people are like, what is going on? Are you going gray in a weird way? Ooh, I made a rhyme. This caught my eye, and let me tell you, it has not been disappointing. Now, I was a little timid. Those of you who have been here since the 2016 days, one of the first controversial opinions I shared on this channel back in the 2016 era was with regards to my negative experience with the, at the time, cult favorite Australian Gold Botanical sunscreen. Now, this brand has since come out with many other sunscreens, but at the time, this was the it thing to be talking about, using, reviewing. Lots of people use it, love it. But for me, it was not something that my skin got along well with. For whatever reason, it caused a lot of skin irritation for me. And at the time, I said, I don't know what it is about this that does not work for me. Maybe, just maybe, it's this Cockadoo Plum. That was the only thing I thought, maybe it's that. So when I saw that this had Cockadoodle-Doo in it, I was like, oh gosh, I don't want to revisit the 2016 time when I got that irritation. Good news, it has not only not caused me irritation, but I've been loving it. Loving it. Love the finish, very lightweight. Now, it does make you dewy, glowy, and that lasts. Pretty persistent. It's kind of got this bouncy, radiant glow. If you're one of those who is a die-hard matte, like you want it to be like almost like you got powder on, pass on this. If you like a little dew, a little hydration, a little glow, yeah, this is great. No white cast. It is a chemical sunscreen. Now, this is an Australian brand, but the ingredients for the sunscreen actives are what are allowed in US sunscreen. So you're still getting, you know, an American sunscreen. All right, you're not getting like an Australian sunscreen with the Australian filters, because that wouldn't be sold here, okay? And you can buy this at Target. I bought mine on Amazon, of course. They get a little fancy and they use like the full-on chemical name for avobenzone, which if you're not familiar with that, it might throw you for a loop being like, oh my gosh, where is the UVA filter in here. It's just going by its maiden name, if you will. Not only does it not burn or sting, but I'm able to tolerate it around my eyes, no problem. And I mentioned, you know, the eyebrow thing, because I put it on my eyelids, up in here in my brow area. Doesn't end up seeping into my eyes, giving me blurry vision, which is great. Can't have that. Can't have that situation. One last thing I want to hype up about this, because I know some of you are already falling asleep and about to click out. But before you do, those of you who come in here throwing your hands up in the air saying, not another product with niacinamide, I cannot tolerate it, it burns, it stings, it causes me irritation, and it is in everything. As a matter of fact, even my dishwashing detergent is marketed now as having niacinamide to get rid of dark spots on my glasses. You watch, that's coming if it isn't already here. Well, guess what? This, no niacinamide. All right, so that was that. I tested out some lip care products this past month. One of them was the popular, I mean, very hyped on TikTok at least amongst the youngins, Summer Fridays. I have to look down because I get Summer Fridays and Naked Sundays like all mixed up, and I want to call it Naked Friday and Summer Sunday, and then I'm like, no, that's not right. Summer Fridays. These lip butter balms, you would think the way people talk about these, that they're like the it thing to use, to try. And I know I'm late to the party in trying them. Story of my life. I don't jump on trends usually, so I'll kind of wait it out and be like, do I really want to try that? I don't know. Ooh, what about this less expensive thing? So I finally gave this a go. The birthday cake lip butter balm, and I was not impressed. This has zero longevity on the lips. Okay, it does not. It's very similar to if you just got a run-of-the-mill body lotion and put it on your lips, which you can do, but mind you, it does not have the longevity on the lips. Lips, you know, they're of a different makeup. Skin there. Stuff is less, you know, you got to formulate with lips in mind. I'm not a cosmetic formulator, but you'll notice if you put products that are not meant for the lips on the lips, it's kind of like they just sort of fall right off. That was my experience with this. It's got shea butter, it's got marmua seed butter. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. So it's you know, got some more natural, if you will, butters, no petroleum jelly, which is probably why I don't like it, okay? Because I love petroleum jelly on the lips, lock in hydration, prevent saliva from further drying out your lips. No petroleum jelly. It is a vegan formula, but of course it has fragrance in it, hence the birthday cake, which, you know, a lot of people probably like. It's a pleasant experience, but be aware of that. Fragrance irritation, allergy to fragrance in lip balms can lead to the vicious cycle of your lips becoming chapped after you're using a product, and then you're like, oh, let's put that thing back on because it feels so good. And then you just kind of repeat this vicious cycle because every time you are then exposed to the allergen irritant, you know, it kind of feeds the process. After that soothing, softening feeling and effect has passed, you know, and the irritation manifests. So just be aware of that. This would not be one I would repurchase, okay? I would not repurchase this. And even the aesthetics of it, you put it on and it's got shimmer in it, which looks nice. That does not last. That has no longevity, okay? And y'all know I've got lip stuff going on here. I've got so many lip care products. I've tested out so many. I love all things lip care products. And this is just, Bonnie Bell of Lip Smackers can do a better job, okay? Like, your 12-year-old has better lip balms than this, trust me. So I was not a fan. Now let's move on to, another lip product. So Rock sent me this in PR, their lip volumizer. I went in with trepidation because lip plumpers, lip volumizers, they've got something in there that is a low-grade irritant. And in this case, it's capsicum, red pepper, which causes vasodilation, and that's going to lead to tissue swelling, and that's what gives the plumping effect. However, capsicum, you know, can be irritating because, hello, it's pepper, and if you've got rosacea, stay away. Stay away. Capsicum can be pretty irritating for rosacea. I mean, we mostly think about it as a trigger when you ingest it, but putting it on the skin, the vasodilation, even if it's the lips, I mean, I would not go messing around with that if I had rosacea, which I don't. This did not cause me any irritation. I will say the plumping effect is nice. It definitely is there. The plumping effect does not last very long, however. It takes a bit for it to manifest. It lasts maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. So you would need to reapply to repeat that effect. You do get, at least I did, a bit of a tingle with that, okay? A bit of a tingle, something, something, but not burning or anything like that for me. Now, one thing I will say about this, the formula is nice and thick, good for reducing water loss from the lips and protecting the lips from irritants. And let me tell you, in contrast to that Summer Fridays nonsense, this is lip sticking. It does not wear off easily. Like, you put it on, it does the plumping thing kind of dies down, but it'll stay on there for a good, like, you put it on at 7 in the morning and come lunchtime, you eat your lunch and you're like, okay, I guess I'll touch up now. Yeah, that's the kind of longevity. That's quite good for a lip care product. It goes over lipstick wonderfully. You know, if you have a lipstick on that you want to then have a plumping effect and some gloss, this would be a great product. It has collagen peptide in it, which is hydrating. You know, people get all, you know, high and mighty about collagen and skincare. They say, oh, it's a complete gimmick. Don't ever waste your time, money, or efforts on collagen in skincare. But collagen in skincare is not intended to get into the skin and replace collagen. Yes, it's too large to do that. Even the peptides can't do that, okay? What it does and how it works, and it works well in my experience, and why I'm always happy to have it along for the ride, is that it helps with moisture retention in the outermost stratum corneum layers, and that smooths everything out. So it's basically like a humectant, and so just like hyaluronic acid in your skincare is not going to localize to the dermis and fill your wrinkles like a hyaluronic acid filler would, we all can appreciate hyaluronic acid in moisturizers for its hydrating effect. Same thing with collagen, and it's got collagen peptide in it, which is, you know, small, not the whole full-on collagen protein, but nonetheless likely is working to improve moisture retention. So I have really enjoyed this. If you've had your lip closed for a bit and you open them as you start talking, it sticks to the lips kind of are sticking together, and you get these little tiny fine strings. They snap back up onto your lip and they don't leave like strings hanging, as I have encountered with some lip care products. It doesn't do that, but it is very thick, sticky, and it does have a bit of a stringy effect. All right, so keep that in mind. That might be so disgusting in your mind to have to deal with that you're like, oh no, get me off this yacht of lip plumping. All right, so just be aware of that. I'm not one to gravitate towards lip plumpers because I just feel like my lips are fine the size they are for my face. They're not huge, they're not voluminous, but I feel like they fit my face, and I've never really been interested in lip filler. As a matter of fact, I remember reading this autobiography of a ballet dancer, Kelsey Kirkland. This is a long time ago, before filler was so mainstream, and I can remember being so shocked at the concept of injecting filler into your lips, because she had that done at the time. I mean, this was back in the 70s. Yeah, the 70s. For having a more dramatic on-stage presence. You know, that was her mindset, like, because she wanted, you know, your face kind of gets lost on stage in ballet, and that's why the makeup is so over the top, and that was kind of her mindset there. Fast forward to 2025, you go walking around and people are rocking the Kelsey Kirkland lips, and they're not on stage every night doing Don Quixote, okay? That's just what people gravitate towards. I think they get lip filler blindness. This plumper is not going to get you that kind of effect. Just a subtle, oh, did you just eat, you know, some hot wings or something and your lips are swollen from the hot sauce? That's exactly the effect. So yeah, if you want to eat a spicy food, you might get a similar effect. All right, that is the lip volumizer. Let's talk, I promised you guys in last month's Fast 5 that I would try out, and yes I did, the Tear Hydro Boost Enzyme Cleansing Balm. You'll recall in last Fast 5 we talked about the milky toner, which I was like, not so great. Better than the ordinary milky toner, but anyway, that's a tale from another video, which you need to watch if you care. The Tear Hydro Boost Enzyme Cleansing Balm. As a reminder, it came along with that milky toner in one of the Korean Advent calendars, which were gifted to me. This I ended up taking with me to New York. You guys watched the vlogs, hopefully, if you're dialed in like that went over the weekend. But I took this with me to New York because it's a good travel size, and then I've continued to use it since returning, and it does what you want it to do. You know, it's a cleansing balm, you put a little bit onto a dry face, massage it in, it starts to dissolve the makeup. Great for mascara, eye makeup, just gently massaging. You're not, wiping away with some drying wipe. So it does that, and then a little bit of water, you can get it to work up into a creamy emulsion. It's got emulsifiers in there, and it rinses off just fine. This is what I do. I do the double cleanse with a product like this. I do that step outside of the shower. I don't even add water. I just smear it all over my face, and then I hop in the shower, and then I wash my face with a gentle cleanser. And it's what I've been doing now for since like 2017, when I first discovered double cleansing. All right, and this works really well. I like that it has no scent. Not only is there no fragrance, there's no odd aroma. Sometimes cleansing balms that are fragrance free, they'll have a bit of an aroma of whatever the underlying butter is, which is fine. It doesn't bother me. You'll recall when I reviewed and tried out CeraVe's cleansing balm, I was always talking about how it felt like you were rubbing a croissant on your face. It had a real like butter smell to it. This is completely neutral, no odor, no aroma. Now, while it is fragrance free, I will point out it does have lavender extract, rosemary extract. So if you have fragrance allergy, it's possible you could cross react. So just keep that in mind. It's got jojoba oil, squalane oil, rice bran oil. Amazing, really nice texture. It's not clumpy, it's not gritty. It's easy to spread over the skin surface, and it rinses off easily. Yes, you could use this by itself without a second step water-based cleanser like I do if you wanted to. Although I will say, when it comes to removing makeup, I don't get how folks do this at the sink. I find sink face washing to be the most insufferable practice. That's why I do what I do. That's why I do what I do with the double cleanse. The idea of removing makeup at the sink, forget about it. Forget about it, forget about it, forget about it. Too messy. You got drips of water that are laced with black mascara gunk, messing everything up. It just frustrates me. And I oftentimes might be using a tubing mascara or something, so you got this black blech everywhere. No thanks. Prefer to do that in the shower, much more efficient. So yeah, this is a good cleansing balm. I would repurchase it 100%. We're going 1 for 2 on tier as far as stuff I really like in the skincare realm that I've tried. All right, and then last but not least, we need to talk about, of course, I tried another body lotion this past month because when it comes to moisturizing the body, I'm really intense. Like, I take it very seriously. I use body moisturizer pretty much from the neck down. Sometimes I'll even use my body moisturizer on my face. I have talked about how I really enjoy La Roche-Posay's Lipicare AP Balm, where they came out with Lipicare Urea 10% Roughness Smoothing Lotion, which I knew I had to try out because urea, hello. 10% urea is very hydrating, helps soften. Great if you have rough and bumpy skin, keratosis pilaris. If you've got thickening on the elbows, the knees, around the ankles due to frictional thickening. You have an old dried up eczema that is discolored, that's known as lichenified. Yeah, urea can be really fantastic. So I was stoked for that. It also has shea butter. It's got allantoin, which is soothing. And let's add it to the document, no niacinamide. In contrast to the Lipicare AP, which I just mentioned, does have niacinamide, this does not. Hold up, because if you actually do have eczema, you're gonna wanna dip your toe into the water really slowly. Like, you're not gonna wanna dive in head first with this because burning and stinging, all right? Urea can sting. I remember as a child with my atopic dermatitis encountering urea for the first time, and it was like being slapped on the cheek. That's a bit overkill, but it took me by surprise. And nowadays I use urea like it's going out of style. And so I don't ever really encounter that, but formulation can impact these kinds of things. And I get, flare-ups of my hand eczema, especially this hand. I get the full-on dyshydrosis, all right? I get the little bumps, and yeah, if you know, you know. And if you don't really know, or you want to know more, check out my video on hand eczema. But let me tell you, it causes stinging in my hands. Also on my legs, especially the popliteal fossa, the back of the knees, I get a little burning, stinging, definitely a bit of a tingle, if not a full-on, which, you know, it's uncomfortable, but I have to say, if you are itchy, one positive of that discomfort is it kind of silences the itch, because it's like, whoa, burning and stinging discomfort, and then it's like, oh wow, now I'm not itchy anymore. So that's a bit of a plus. But all that to say, like, if you've got a child, for example, with atopic dermatitis, eczema, and you struggle as is to grease them up, because that's, you know, a mainstay of managing eczema is consistent moisturizer, but you got a little kid wiggling around who does not like moisturizers, this, you may run into problems. They may start crying on you because it is not necessarily comfortable. But all I have to say, this performs well. Following day, this is a testament to a good moisturizer. The following day, you're not getting that rolly stuff. Like if you scratch your leg where you put it, you're not getting the film coming on up, okay? And the forearm especially has a nice, youthful, dewy bounce to it, a firmness that was not there prior. So it does really well. And the moisturized skin, that dewy bounce, it does last throughout the next day and even into the following day, because I did skip to test out their 48-hour hydration claim. And I have to say, it actually does provide lasting hydration. The skin is supple, bouncy, glowy, smooth, doesn't feel tight or dry for a good 48 hours after applying. Now, one thing I always complain about with these La Roche-Posay moisturizers is the freaking packaging is so insufferable. That bottle is like what you're going to end up with. And I haven't gotten there yet with this, but I'm getting ahead of myself because I already know it's going to happen, and I'm warning you. What happens is the bottom third of moisturizer, it ends up tunneling out to the sidewalls, tunneling out and up. And so you've got this full-on like donut of lotion down there that you cannot access with the pump. And you guessed it, I hate this. You have to take the top off and bang it out into your hands. Do not like doing that. I don't like having to do that because I find it annoying, I find it messy, and I find that you can't bang out the right amount of product. You end up using a ton and, you know, you're putting it all over, or you don't get enough. It's just annoying. I prefer the Gold Bond packaging. Let me tell you, the Gold Bond moisturizers, they are in the right packaging. Even the pump bottles are better than this because they at least don't donut. But the squeeze bottles, that's where it's at, because you can roll the tube down when you get down to the dregs and really syringe it on out so you don't waste a drop. Gold Bond, speaking of urea, yes, 10 out of 10. Gold Bond moisturizers are amazing. So long story short, this is great. Be aware it does cause some burning and stinging on impaired skin, such as areas where your eczema is flaring up, or, you know, if you've been overdoing it with exfoliants or something and you're looking to have a nice healing moisturizer, you might run into some unexpected discomfort with this one. Let me know if you've tried this one out though, if you've experienced the same thing, because I seem to recall when I brought it onto the scene in one of my vlogs where I share backstage, if you will, behind the scenes, what I'm trying out. I recall the first go around with this, I seem to recall some of your comments indicating that you also had found it to burn and sting. And I've not had that issue with Gold Bond. I've not had that issue with other urea moisturizers. So it's definitely the way their urea is formulated in this, I would only assume. Anyway, y'all, that is the Fast 5. 2 lip care products, a sunscreen, a body cream, and a cleansing balm. Not too bad for the shortest month of the year. I'm telling you, I've got one set of skin, but the possibilities of trying testing are endless. Anyway, y'all, I hope you are having a great beginning of March. You had a fantastic February. Let me know in the comments what skincare products you have been loving and adoring. But if you guys enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.